You may notice all the love that's in this room. It's kind of a startling thing. It's a historic moment, really, with all this affection that we're seeing, all the love in the room between all the different governors. And I feel that way about all of you, too. And so tonight I'm just going to whisper these three little words to you that I know tonight when you go home you'll whisper these words in the ears of your wife or your girlfriend. Just no car tax. It is a great honor to be the governor of Virginia, as I think you're hearing from everybody that has approached this lectern tonight. You only get 4 years. It's a tough row to hoe when you're trying to run a state as prominent and as large and as powerful as the state of Virginia with its great history with just one term. And you have to really act fast. But the thing about being the chief executive is it's an opportunity to act, to really do something, and to take advantage of that opportunity for leadership. So we did. We kept our promises, and we eliminated 70% of the car tax in 4 years. I hope I'll live long enough to see the rest of it gone. That day, I think, would be a great day for the people of the Commonwealth. We put thousands of new teachers into the classroom to reduce class sizes, and I think it's probably because I'm a product of public education, so I had a feel for the need for that. On colleges, we built on the legacy that we had. We actually reduced tuition 20%, but we put all the money back into the colleges to make up for that tuition cut, which meant a direct benefit right back to the parents. Governor Wilder left a rainy day fund. When we left, we had topped that out at $1 billion at the end of the term. And then, of course, Roxanne worked very hard to lead the project to restore the governor's mansion and leave that legacy. So it's by the way, she's written a book on the subject. Makes a great Christmas present. You all might. So what do I want to talk to you about tonight? It goes beyond the issue of, although it builds on the no car tax and the tax cut, because the no car tax was an objective to really try to get some value back into the pockets of working people of Virginia so they could do more with their own lives. And what I wanted to come to you tonight to talk to you about was a project that I'm working on. I'm doing a number of things right now, but one is I'm president and CEO of a conservative research institution in Washington called the Free Congress Foundation. And we're not looking back, we're looking forward. And what we want to do is to talk about what needs to happen in the United States of America today. And I'm here to tell you that if you don't remember anything that I've said to you tonight, I want you to know that I believe that the United States has to have a national mission to rebuild the economy of this country. Absolutely a national mission to grow the economy of the United States. And don't kid yourself. It has a direct impact on the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now, all of us governors, all of us have worked hard to build up the economies of this state and to create new jobs. Governor Allen, all the governors, Governor McDonald has worked very hard to do this with great success. All of us did it. But we are a microcosm of the United States of America, and make no mistake about it. And in fact, in a way, we're more than a microcosm because of our diversity and because of the sophistication of our state. We can lead this country without any question. So there needs to be, out of the Virginia tradition, something for this country to get this country going again. The norm of growth in this country is about 3.2%. You can look back on history. This country grows at a rate of about 3.2%, except now. We're not growing now anything like that. And all the statistics are showing we're going to be growing at less than 3.2%. What's the result of all of this? It means that you always end up with higher unemployment than we should have. You know, the norm of full employment in this country is something less than 5%. We're being set up right now for a permanent type of unemployment, over 6, 7, even today 8. Last year was 9. You know what the consequences of that are? Young people come out of colleges that we work so hard to build, and they can't find a job. They can't find a suitable job. So they start their careers less than they otherwise would be. and they make less money than they otherwise would make. We have always had the American dream that the next generation will do better than the last, and we must restore that again. And today, young people don't share that vision, and their parents don't either, and it must be restored. Working people today are laid off from their jobs. They have lower wages when they do get jobs than they otherwise would have had. And this is very consequential because that low rate that you start with carries out for the rest of their lives and the rest of their careers. And it has an impact that we're seeing right now, and we're not doing enough to deal with it. Minorities are treated the worst in times of economic recession and difficulty. And our African American citizens and our Hispanic citizens are feeling it very strongly. Our small business people are hurting out there because they pass through most of their taxation and they pay at a rate that is phenomenally high, and it makes it very difficult for them to grow their businesses. And folks, it has an impact on national security. And if you don't believe it, listen to all the talk about China and all the talk about their economy, and watch all the diminution of our national security in this country and the reduction of our defense budgets because we don't have the money. There is an answer to this, I believe, and that is we must have growth. If you want to spend every dime, fine, then you have to have more dimes. If you want to have more national security, fine, then we have to grow this economy so we have the resources to have national security. The growing is the way out. And we've put together in our program a way of doing that. We believe that all businesses, small and large, ought to be taxed the same way on their own form and charged 15%. Today, the corporate tax rate in the United States is 35% at the highest levels, and in Europe, 25%. And we wonder why our businesses all go overseas to make their money. We believe that we could buy down that rate to 15% in this country and still have a plan that's revenue neutral. We believe that all investments ought to be written off in the first year. The first year, none of this 10-year deductibility over a long period of time and depreciation. We believe there ought to be 3 rates of 10, 15, and 25%, but everybody in America should pay taxes, everyone, and have skin in the game so that there is virtue in the public reality of what we're doing in this country. We think you should eliminate double taxation in this country, which means that investment is almost always double taxed. So no wonder we don't have as much investment, and investment means growth. And then we ought to give to every American a $4,300 refundable tax credit. And from that would be paid the 10% at the very lowest levels, and it would diminish all the way up until at some point you begin to pay positive taxation. But that cushions the low-class folks who are not making as much money, the people who are the working people not making as much money, people who aren't making any money. It cushions them as we eliminate deductions and credits. Now, that's a plan that actually would work. Our economists tell us that it's revenue neutral, but the real dynamic quality would be enormous growth in this country. Growing of the gross national product, growing of the revenues for the federal government, and the reduction of unemployment below 5%. But it would require that everybody give something up. Some would have to give up their intense dislike of the successful in this country, and we hear it every day on TV as we down-talk people who are successful. And some people in this country who believe that we already have too many giveaway programs, they wouldn't like a $4,300 refundable credit. They'll have to give up their dislike of that too. But to do this, you can bring about true growth and opportunity in this country. And I say to you that this has to be a national mission. The national mission of this country. We must do this. And to do it will require enormous political courage and skill. And that's why we do things like the Sorensen Institute, so that we can train and build that kind of skill and ability and knowledge and courage to go forward and do what is necessary and what is right. And that's why I'm glad to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my successor in the office of Governor of Virginia, a man educated at George Washington University and Harvard Law School, a man who became a pioneer in the telecommunications industry and the cell phone industry, having enormous success in delivering through that private enterprise benefits that go on to this day. Well, shucks, every time I dial this, I give him 25 cents. It's really annoying, isn't it? You know? Mark Warner has been a leader of this state. He has served as his party chair. He was a candidate for the United States Senate and thereafter was elected governor of the state of Virginia in 2002 and thereafter senator in 2008. He is on the Banking and Housing and Urban Affairs Committee, the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committees. He has led a bipartisan group in order to try to bring together people in the United States Congress in order to bridge some of the gaps that are freezing up Washington right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the 69th governor of the state of Virginia, Mark Warner.